Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. I'm Kari Hawker-Diaz.
And I'm Brooke Mangum. Thanks so much for listening once again with us.
Okay, so Brooke, I didn't realize this about you. I thought I knew everything, but you were once in a pageant.
I did a beauty pageant, guys. You can tell it did not pan out. I am not for pageants. I did make it to the top 10, Kari. And then I got to the interview portion of the program.
Oh, what happened?
I made an inappropriate joke, and I think that really took away my my goal towards the crown. But it did place me right into rock morning radio very nicely, and that was where I found my spot. But what was so funny about pageants is I was so not a pageant girl when I was growing up. It was just something that was recommended to me, and I kind of went in with like the anti-pageant idea, because we all have our stereotypes, right? Of they're pageant girls, pageant princesses. They're usually the stereotype is maybe not that smart, all that stuff. But what I discovered doing a pageant, that is not the case at all.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. So
not the case.
I chatted with Paris Matthews, who is an incredible human being. She works at Primary Children's Hospital, and she helps kids. I believe it's child life specialist. She helps kids with the power of play. So like if your baby's getting an IV and they have a needle coming towards them.
How scary is that for a parent?
She's distracting them, playing with them. And
Angel on this earth.
Yes. And she is so smart. She is so kind. She is a phenomenal human being who I think absolutely deserved this crown. And we get to know her a little better on this podcast. I'm really excited to share this with everyone. Should we give it a listen?
Yes, she's a much better human than we are, Kari. Let's just embrace that. Let's listen to this amazing, beautiful soul.
Done. Paris, I am so excited to chat with you today. Thank you for sitting down with me.
Yes, thank you. I can't wait to talk to you again a little bit longer than our last conversation.
Yes, we had you on the show, but it's fun because we get a little bit longer now to be able to chat. How does it feel, first of all, now that it's settled in a little bit, to be Miss Utah?
It still feels like an absolute dream come true. Every day I have this realization. It's about halfway through the day when I'm like, wait, I'm Miss Utah and I'm going to Miss America and this is real life. And so I kind of have this new fulfilled gratitude every single day that I have this realization that, I did win and I am Miss Utah. So it's still a shock, but I'm reaching the month mark. So hopefully by then I feel a little more normal.
Yay. Okay. And since being crowned, what sort of initiatives have you been working on and what events have you attended?
Yeah, so my community service initiative is the Power of Play, advocating for hospitalized children. And so I'm getting the ball rolling and, planning out how I'm going to involve the community in giving back to hospitalized kids. So I'm planning on some toy drives and events and community service opportunities that I can really do all throughout Utah. But my favorite event that I've done so far is a Dream Night event that I went to at the Hogle Zoo with a lot of other princesses and mascots here in Utah. And it was a night for children who have medically complex histories and diagnoses. And so it was a private event, just the Hogle Zoo and these kids and their families. And it was really special to me because I'm a child life specialist at Primary Children's. And so being able to connect with these kids that I work with on a daily basis in my career, but now be on the Miss Utah side was so special to be able to connect with them on a fun night out.
Sure. Okay. And let's go back to the Power of Play. It's a nonprofit that you started. Tell us what it is and what you envision for the future of it.
Yes, the Power of Play is my licensed charity. So we're coming up on our 2-year mark since I founded it. And so far, I've collected over 5,000 play items to be distributed over the years, and I hope to increase that as Miss Utah. And kind of like I mentioned before, those toy drives are really essential to providing these play opportunities for kids. Here at the hospital I work at, the Children's Hospital in Utah, we rely solely on community donations for our one-time use items. And so they go through really quickly, and we're often out. And so it's these one-time items that I collect, which are Play-Doh, bubbles, Hot Wheels, coloring books, those items that can't be cleaned because, of course, at the hospital, we need to keep it clean for everybody. And that's what we're really lacking. So promoting the power of play and involving community give back through toy drives, but also those service opportunities. I've, been able to connect with different community groups, different church groups, different youth city councils, and we do things like fleece tie blankets and making craft kits. And not only is that a great service opportunity, but you're also giving back to hospitalized kids. And I really love service. And so I'm excited to connect with people in Utah in the service aspect in my charity as well.
Oh, that's so powerful. Paris, that's amazing that you're doing that. And I know that relates to your job at Primary Children's Medical Center. Tell us more of what you do there.
Yeah, so I am a certified child life specialist, and most people are like, what is that job? I've never heard of that in my life. And so I could probably speak for 10 minutes to really encompass all it is. But the short version that I say to children is I'm kind of like a teacher for kids about hospital stuff. And my whole job is to make being here easier, and I'm in charge of the toys and fun stuff. And so I personally work in the emergency department and our rapid treatment short-term stay unit, as long as infusions. But emergency medicine is really my favorite. And so what that looks like is a lot of developmentally appropriate procedural preparation using soft language and play. So children learn through play. So that's also where my charity kind of ties in the power of play. And so I teach kids step by step and assess how they're going to cope with a procedure. And then I create coping plans with the patient and their families to make it easier through play throughout the procedure. So just this morning, I was able to do sutures with a kid and prepared them by showing them a baby doll that had stitches on it already and talking about how they're string band-aids. And so 4-year-old's not going to understand what stitches are. So you say, these are my string band-aids. The doctor word is stitches, but then we'll continue to use the soft language about string band-aids. And then I say some kids, they might feel a little nervous because this is their first time doing this, and that's okay, but they like to play to make it easier. And I kind of cater the experience to them to normalize the environment. So do you like Bluey? Do you like Paw Patrol? Do you like princesses? And I'll bring in an I Spy book and we'll play I Spy for some alternate focus to normalize the environment and decrease stress and keep a calm environment throughout the procedure. And then I also bring in light spinners and stress balls. And, it kind of depends on the age and developmental level of the child. And people often think I don't work with teenagers, but I also work all the way from 1 day old to 18. And so the power of play really can be for anybody, but that's my role as a child life specialist, along with some sibling support, therapeutic play, diagnosis education. And as child life specialists, we also do grief and bereavement support for children who lose their lives and helping those siblings understand and say goodbye.
Your role is so essential and important. I actually know exactly what you do because I've experienced that when we had our daughter at Primary Children's. She was 3 and 4. We had her there 2 different times. And
oh, wow.
They helped basically distract her when they were putting in the IV. And they had this really cool, glowy instrument that they were showing her this cool thing, and she had no idea that they were putting an IV in because
I know,
you guys are so
crazy?
good at your job. It's really essential and it is so important. So thank you for all you are doing for those kids.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm glad you had a positive experience. Yeah, sometimes they'll do a needle stick and the kid won't even react, and that's the power of distraction. So I'm glad that you had a positive experience.
Yep, and that's what your job is. What do you love most about working with kids, would you say, and teens?
Oh, yeah. I think it's probably when they come into the hospital and they're completely terrified and have so many misconceptions, and being able to educate them and then empower them that they can do hard things. And sometimes it is still hard, even with the distraction too, but, really validating them that they're still doing the hard thing anyway. And so just watching the growth and the empowerment that they have from the first time I meet them, all the way to completing a procedure, or even if I see them again at the hospital, and being able to see that growth that they have in believing in themselves and knowing that, do they want to be at the hospital? No, but can they do this hard thing? And it's really special to be able to watch.
So rewarding. Well, you're just awesome what you're doing, Paris. And going back to Miss Utah, what is your main goal as Miss Utah this year?
Wow, there's so many things I want to accomplish, but really just connecting with the community here in Utah. I know the power that connection can have, especially on our youth. And so I'm an author of a children's book. It's Mabel's Hospital Adventure, so it's about hospitalization. But as a local title holder before I won Miss Utah, I was able to do some book readings in classrooms. And that's what I'm planning to do as Miss Utah as well, but not only in the Salt Lake County, but in all counties in Utah. I'm hoping to visit as Miss Utah to be able to connect with youth from all over the state. And service is my favorite part of being a part of the Miss America opportunity. So I also want to volunteer and advocate for many things outside of pediatrics as well. And I'm just looking forward to, connecting through services as well, I think is really impactful.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. And I believe you when you say that. I got to chat with you on the show, like I said, and you love service. I mean, that's what you do with the children at the hospital. So it's what you're meant for, Paris. How long did you compete in the pageant world, like before getting this title?
Yeah, so I started when I was 19 years old, and I'm 26 now. And I have done 15 competitions. And so I won on my 15th try. So it was many years of resilience and dedication and discipline to be able to win the Miss Utah title.
What motivated you to keep going?
I realized that it wasn't really the crown that would, validate me at the end of the day. It was truly the experiences that I was having. The journey to get the crown was, I wouldn't be who I am today without the journey that it took me to get here. I don't think I would have been able to have been as well spoken or get the career I have. Becoming a child life specialist is extremely competitive and has a lengthy interviewing process to secure an internship, which is required for a career. And I don't think I would have gained the skills I desperately needed if it wasn't for the Miss America opportunity. And so it's really shaped me into the woman I am today. And I kind of call it a professional development program is what the Miss America opportunity is, but it's also a personal development program. And it helped me learn who I am and my values and what I stand for and how to articulate that. And so that's why I kept coming back, because of course I had the belief that I could do this and I can be a Miss Utah and I want to be Miss Utah. But it was also the growth I was seeing between every single competition that had me returning.
Sure. And to keep coming back, that says a lot about you. Let's talk about the Miss Utah pageant. What is it like to compete? Walk us through the week of, because a lot of us might not know exactly what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, oh my, it is a whole week long, which usually surprises people. We have a lot of offstage events that are really fun. We have the Show Me Your Shoes parade where each contestant is able to decorate a pair of shoes all about her. And so mine had Eiffel Towers on them, of course, because my name is Paris. I had to go with the French theme. And so that isn't judged. It's just for fun. And we also have little misses that are now called honeybees, and they're in our Little Sisters of America, Miss America program. And we're basically, the misses are mentors for these little girls. And they escort us on stage during evening gown, and we had a Barbie party with them. And so those are just some of our off stage events. But our judging events is the private interview, which is 30% of your score, and it's 10 minutes long. And that's my favorite portion by far. I love private interview. And then we have 3 preliminary competitions. Each are a different night. And so throughout these preliminary competitions, each girl competes in on-stage question, which is 10% of your score, and you speak on your community service initiative. And then you compete in evening gown, which is 20%, and that's how confidently you showcase your evening gown, not judged on the evening gown itself. 20% is health and fitness, where you showcase your lifestyle on stage. And then 20% is talent. And I did a fun, sassy, upbeat jazz dance this year. And then the finals night, it is cut down from 51 women to the top 15. And then from the top 15, they do the entire competition all in that one night. And it's cut down to the top 5. And then the top 5 answer a final question about the role of becoming Miss Utah. And then the order and the runner-ups are announced with the winner.
Wow. It is go time. That's a full week of...
I know, doesn't it just make you tired?
Yes, I bet you sleep pretty well after that. How do you, and I guess it depends on which competition is which day, but how do you prepare each night before those?
Oh, this year I kind of took a different route. We have rehearsals all morning where we're kind of spacing things out on stage and practicing. But I really just like to have fun backstage. It's how I kind of get in the zone and relax a little bit. And we each have roommates, and we stay at a hotel the entire week too. And so me and my roommate would stay up much too late. I would say about 2 a.m. every night, just giggling and laughing and talking about the week. And that really helped me prepare because it was me just being myself. And I think that's what I really was able to showcase on stage this year.
That's so cool. Are there any big challenges that you face leading up to the competition or over the years competing that you can think of?
Oh, definitely comparison. I mean, it is a competition at the end of the day. And at the same time, these women are my friends and I know them very well. And I can so easily see how amazing that they would do in the role of Miss Utah as well. And so you kind of have to put on these blinders and, another woman's greatness never takes away from your own. And that's something I had to keep reminding myself. Somebody else's strength will never deter from mine. And cheering other people on is really important throughout the competition as well. So comparison can definitely seep in. And I think that's a natural part of being human. But at the same time, reminding myself that I am capable and worthy also.
I think that's good advice on and off the stage, right? Just because somebody else is wonderful doesn't dim your light, whatsoever. And we can cheer other people on and off stage. That's really good advice. The Miss Utah pageant is a preliminary of the Miss America pageant. What are you most excited for? What are you most nervous for?
Oh, I am just excited for every single second. I'm so excited to compete on the Miss America stage. I grew up competitive dancing, so of course I'm excited to showcase my talent on stage as well, but also just connecting with so many other state title holders. I've worked so hard to win their states as well, and I've already had the honor to meet a few. I was able to go watch the new Miss Texas be crowned, and I got to meet some other of the southern states, and I know that we're just going to have a blast the entire week of Miss America. So I'm not really feeling nervous about anything. I just feel so beyond grateful and excited.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and the Miss Utah and Miss America pageants give out scholarships. Can you tell us more about how those work and how they've helped you further your education?
Yeah, before I won the title of Miss Utah, I was a local title holder and competed at Miss Utah last year, and I was able to win a few $1,000s that went to my undergraduate degree. I graduated from the University of Utah back in 2019, and I have a lot of debt from that. And so a few of those $1,000 went towards that, which really helped relieve me. But now that I won the title of Miss Utah, I won $15,000, which is $5,000 more than what is typically awarded to Miss Utah. And that's going to help me pursue my master's degree in healthcare administration that I'm currently doing. And Miss America is the largest provider of scholarships for women in the entire United States. And so I'm so proud to be a part of this organization that really promotes education for women.
Wow, that helps a lot. That's phenomenal. That's really cool. Okay, and the Miss America pageant is different from other pageants because of the talent phase of the competition. We hear that at the Miss America pageant, Miss Utah has won more preliminary talent awards than any other state. I know you talked a little bit about your talent, but how long have you trained and what are your feelings about it?
Yeah, I've been training since I was 3 years old. I started competitive dancing and I did jazz, ballet, tap, hip hop, contemporary, lyrical. But then in high school, I went on to do drill team and I really fell in love with performing. And so I am going to be doing upbeat and fun jazz dance at Miss America as well. And I think the whole point of the talent portion is to entertain and to engage with the audience and engage with the judges. And so that's why I'm so excited to do something really fun for my dance routine. But isn't that amazing that the women in Utah have won more talent preliminary awards than any other state? I just think that goes to show how disciplined and dedicated are women here in our state. And I'm so excited to represent them.
Go Utah. And I'm actually not surprised because we have a lot of talented dancers and musicians and I mean, just so much talent here in Utah. So I wasn't surprised by
definitely.
that, but that's very cool. Okay. Thinking about future, Paris, what are your future aspirations like beyond your reign?
Yeah, well, of course, I want to continue being a child life specialist. That is my dream career that I'm already in. I've been doing it for 3 years and I want to continue working clinically as long as I can, but I am pursuing my master's in healthcare administration and my long-term goal is to become an executive of a children's hospital and really advocate for the psychosocial support and proper pain management and just for these patient and families on an executive level and an admin level as well. Continuing to promote my charity Power of Play and being able to utilize these items that are being donated properly within hospitals and making an impact. So I just want to keep continuing, what I'm doing now.
Sure. And I know you'll make that happen if that's what you want, Paris. I can't wait to see. And going back to the Power of Play really quick, how can people help your nonprofit?
I have a website. It's powerofhospitalplay.com. here you can find my Venmo, where you can just Venmo directly, and I will personally go buy toys for the hospital and donate them. I also have an Amazon wish list where you can purchase toys directly there that I will deliver to the hospital. And I will always be posting updates about current toy drives that are happening that I'm still planning out for this year. And my email and contact information is there as well. If you or a community group would like to do a service activity, like I mentioned earlier, like fleece type blankets or craft kits, you can just shoot me an email at powerofhospitalplay@gmail.com. I'd be happy to involve you.
That's great. If someone's listening right now and wants to help, that's how you can do it. And I know how kids benefit from that. So thank you for doing that, Paris. Mm-hmm. Okay, one last big question. What advice would you give to young women who are considering participating in pageants like Miss Utah?
Just go for it. I think it can be so scary, especially if you've never done it before or even considered it before. I think there's a lot of stereotypes that you have to always have been a pageant girl, and you have to be made for this, but it's Miss America opportunities for anybody. And it's also a scholarship program. You can earn money for going to school while you're competing. And so what is there to lose? I just really would advocate for women to sign up, to give it a try. It can be scary to do things for the first time. And that's what I tell my kids at the hospital all the time. When I was 19 and first did it, I couldn't even say my onstage question fully. I put the microphone down halfway because I didn't know what I was going to say. But that's okay, because it helped push me out of my comfort zone. And I think that's what this program does. And so my advice is to just go for it. And I'm always happy to give advice too. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can always send me a message on Instagram at ParisJM. I'd be happy to give you some advice and that extra push you need.
Oh, that's really good advice. Some things, those great things happen outside of that comfort zone. Those wonderful things that are scary. It's always outside of that comfort zone. That's really good advice. Okay, we're going to wrap up with what we call the Fresh Five. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, number 1, Netflix or Hulu?
Oh, that's really hard. I'm watching Bridgerton right now, so I'm going to have to go with Netflix.
Okay. Are you a texter or a caller?
Oh, dang it. I like them both. I love texting and calling. I wish I could just pick in the middle for all of these, but I'm going to go texting.
Okay. All right. It's brunch, Paris. What are you ordering?
Eggs Benedict every single time. I can never step away.
That's a favorite of mine too. Okay. Long nails or short nails?
Long nails. I've had acrylic nails for about a year straight, and I don't think I can ever go back. Yep. So that's bad for my wallet, but I really love them.
But it is what it is. Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a successful blind date with your crush or a blind date fail with a celebrity crush?
Oh, definitely blind date fail. That would be the perfect story to tell all the time. That's exactly what I want.
That's amazing. Okay, Paris, it's been so fun chatting with you. Where can we follow you and follow your journey?
Yes, thank you so much. You can follow me on Instagram. My personal is at ParisJM. My Miss Utah one is at Miss America UT. You can also follow for Miss Utah Miss America updates at MissUT.org. And you can also, of course, visit my website, powerofhospitalplay.com, to learn more about how you can give back to hospitalized kids.
You're incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. And I am so excited to see what the future holds for you. I know so many people are watching and excited for you as well and cheering you on.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Thank you, Paris. And thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.